Streaming to you live from a secret lockdown location in West Yorkshire, it's time for maths, magic, and more maths with Dazzling Darren.
Dazzling Darren is your man, and he has a plan to educate your children on Facebook. He will entertain and educate a magician who will just donate some time to help these children who are stuck. With maths and English, you just name it, teaching methods can explain it, along with his skills in wizardry. And don't worry about the price, just a thank you will suffice, cause Dazzling Darren's doing it for free.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for, so please put your virtual hands together and welcome to the screen, Dazzling Darren.
Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome along to the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. My name is Dazzling Darren and this is episode number 2. Yes, we did episode number 1 last week, and thank you so much for all of your feedback. I'll tell you what's coming up on today's show, and then the first thing I'm going to do is announce the winner of last week's competition. So, coming up today, we have got some animal magic to start off. I am going to do a trick for you. I will let you know that in that magic trick, we are going to need 2 people to give us a number, or 1 person to give us 2 numbers. So if you're watching this on Facebook and you can comment, get ready, because I'm going to get a couple of numbers chosen. Then we're going to do some join-in magic. Today's join-in magic will be using chocolate bars, alright? So if you like chocolate bars, we've got something fun coming up with that. Then we're going to do our learn magic trick. We've got the mystery dice today. You should have, hopefully, have printed off one of these PDFs. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. You can still watch along and print them off after the show. That's absolutely fine. Some of you may have printed them off and already had fun cutting them out and sticking them into dice. That'd be brilliant if you've done that as well. You might just have some real dice, some regular dice that you found at home. That's great as well. We've got the Learn Magic coming up. And then in our Maths Marvel today, we are going to do some Egyptian multiplication. I'm going to show you how they used to multiply big numbers together before we had any calculators, all right? And then, as ever, we're going to finish with the shout-outs and the homework. So that's all coming up on today's show. So, I just want to, first of all, before we get into this show, I just want to say a huge thank you, all right? I want to say thank you to everybody who watched the show last week, all right? Lots of people watched and joined in with the show. Thank you so much. I got lots of feedback about last week's show, so thank you very much for that as well. Somebody told me that I called units when actually they're called ones now. I apologise for that. So when I was talking about tens and units, I should have been talking about tens and ones, all right? Thanks for that feedback, and thank you to everybody that messaged me and said nice things. That was great. Now, before we start the show today, I want to announce the winner of last week's competition. So, last week's competition, our homework as I call it at the end, was quite a simple one. It was, if I had 100 magic wands and I gave away a quarter of them, how many would I have left, all right? Lots of you answered it on Facebook, lots of you answered it via email as well, and that was brilliant. I'll announce the answer now and the winner. And then at the end of the show, we've got this week's homework. Please join in again by putting your comments on the Facebook feed or email me, and I'll pop the email address up later on as well. So, the answer was 75. So if I had 100 magic wands and I gave away 1/4 of them, I would be giving away 25, and then I would have 75 left. So the answer was 75, all right? And last week's winner was Evie. So thank you very much to Evie. Evie was last week's winner. And I haven't put her last name on there. I've just put her first name. But I will say you were the only Evie that entered. So Evie, if you're watching and you entered last week, you entered via email, you are the winner. I will get in touch with you after the show. I'll get your address and I will send you a Dazzling Darren magic box full of magic tricks that you can learn and amaze your friends. And we've got another one of those coming up at the end of this week's show. So let's do some animal magic, all right? Now, over here, in this bag, I have got 1 animal. Now, before we go any further, I will tell you, it's not a real animal, all right? It's a toy animal. It's a toy animal inside that bag. Now, I need a couple of numbers chosen. So, if you are watching on Facebook, do me a favour, all right? Type in any 2 numbers, listen, between 1 and 16, all right? So if you are watching on Facebook, pick 2 numbers between 1 and 16 and type them in, press send. Send that comment, that message through to me, all right? I will find the first one that comes up on my feed, hopefully it'll be the first one on your feed, and I will do the trick with these numbers, all right? So, let me show you how this is going to work, all right? we need two numbers between 1 and 16 because I have got here two piles of animal cards and there are 16 animals in each pile. Now, we're going to get one chosen from this pile with one number. We're going to get one chosen from this pile with another number. And we are going to see if these two animals match. And if they match, hopefully they will match the one that is over here inside this bag. All right, so let's have a look. The first one that I can see was put two numbers. Ruth Wood. Hi, Ruth. Jacob says 4 and 16. All right, that's the first one that I can see. So we'll go for that. All right, we'll go for 4 and 16. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one face down and one face up. That way we'll build the tension for the final reveal. All right, so we'll go over here for this pile. Let's do 16. All right, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's all of the cards. I tell you what, we're going to make it more random by adding the digits of 16 together. So 16 is 1 plus 6, which makes 7. We'll count back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that takes us to here. Now, we're not going to open this one. Look at this one just yet. We will place it there. We're going to use the other number, which is number 4. We're going to do some more counting over here, but we'll do these face up, all right? So we'll take them from the back, put them to the front. Whatever number 4 is, that's the one we'll go for. So here we go. 1, 2, not the bird or the shark. 3, not the turtle. 4. Oh, wow, we've landed on the giraffe. So thanks to Jacob Wood, we have landed on the giraffe over here and an unknown one over here. Now, let's put those cards out of the way. If these two match, that will be a maths miracle, and we'll see whether they match the animal that is inside this bag. All right, let's have a look over here and see the other animal. Oh, it's a zebra. That's a little bit awkward to start today's stream because I was hoping these two would be matches, and the numbers 4 and 16 were chosen randomly, and we ended up with a giraffe and a zebra. That's awkward. It's awkward because there's only one animal inside that bag, unless it's a girebra, girebra, or a giraffe. I like girebra. We'll just see what's inside the bag, shall we? Let's have a look. Maybe one of them's right. I don't believe it. One of them is right. Have a look at that. It's the world's first girebra. I don't believe it. Check it out. We have got the giraffe and the zebra. The world's first giraffe and zebra next to each other. I don't believe that. You know what that means? That means that we've done the trick right. Thanks very much to Jacob Wood. You know what that also means? That means somewhere else in the world there is the butt of a zebra and the butt of a giraffe stuck next to each other. I wonder what that looks like. Have a look at this. The butt of a zebra and the butt of a giraffe. All right, that was today's magic trick. That was some animal magic. It's now time for the join in section of the show. And in the join in section of the show, it's time for you to join in. So, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do some join-in magic, all right? It's a number thing again, just like last week. I'll want you guys to follow along. Now, each week we might get a little bit harder with the numbers, so you might need some parents, some guardians, some teachers to help. You might want to write it down as you go along. I'll give you a few seconds to write it down, or you may perhaps want to use a calculator. It's up to you. Try to do it in your head if you can, all right? Because it's not that tough, but you might want to use a calculator. All right, so today's join-in magic is all about chocolate bars. Yes, I said it before, it's all about chocolate bars. In a second, I am going to let you choose a random chocolate bar, and it's going to be one of these, all right? Have a look at those. There are 18 chocolate bars there, all right? Now, you are not going to just pick your favourite. We're going to do some magic maths, and you are going to choose one at random. So have a look. We've got 18 chocolate bars. Milky Bar, Buttons, Aero, Mint Aero, Galaxy, Caramel, Twix, Mars, Curly Whirly, Bounty, Boost, Drifter, Marathon. Now, if you don't know what Marathon is, kids, that's what we call Snickers now. I just put that there for the mums and dads and the parents and the grandmas and the grannas and the teachers that were watching, all right? Marathon, Caramac, Dream, Time Out, Lint, You got to have one posh chocolate in there and breakaway, all right? All different chocolates and chocolate bars and some biscuits, all right? Now, we're going to get one chosen at random. Here is what I want you to do. I want everybody watching today to think of a number between 1 and 9. Now, if you're watching this in a school setting and there's lots of you, maybe keep it in your head or write it down. If you say it out loud, it might confuse the children that are around you. So think of a number between 1 and 9. Have you got one? All right. First thing we're going to do, we are going to multiply that number by 3. So whatever number you thought of at the start, I want you to times it by 3. That will give you another number. All right? Good. Now, I would like you to add 3 to that number. So whatever number you had before, I want you to add just 3. That should be fairly easy for you guys. Brilliant. Now, we're nearly there. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to multiply that number by 3 again. This is where you might need a calculator or a parent or some paper, because we might be getting up towards a big number now, all right? If you started with a big number, you might be somewhere in the 60s, 70s, or 80s by now, all right? So that number needs to be multiplied by 3 again. And finally, the last thing is I want you to add the digits of the number that you've got together. So if you'd arrived on 62, I want you to take the 6 plus the 2 and add them together to get one final number. So in that case, it would be 8. But you guys have probably got a different number. All right, remember that number. Don't forget it, because that is going to be your chocolate bar. All right? Good. If you've got that number, keep it in your head. Don't change it. Let's have a look at the chocolate bars. Now, find the chocolate bar that is next to your number and remember it. So if your number was 5, you would look at number 5, you would find Galaxy, and you would remember that number. Now, you've probably all got a different number, and the highest number is between 1 and 18, because the highest number you could come to is 99, so 9 plus 9 is 18, but you'll have a different number, so it's anywhere between 1 and 18. Get your number and remember the chocolate bar next to that number. Are you ready? All right, think about your chocolate bar. Think about your chocolate bar in your mind. I'm going to reach into your mind and pluck out a thought. Here we go. Remember your number. I'm coming to get your thought of chocolate bar now. Oh. The chocolate bar that I stole from your mind was a Curly Whirly. Was that the chocolate bar that you chose? If it was, let us know in the comments below. And I'm sorry I took the chocolate bar. I'm going to be having this after the magical math show today. Oh, good, it's working for people. That's brilliant. I can see claps and stuff. That's absolutely fantastic. That's today's Join in Magic, and I hope you enjoyed it. We've got more Join in Magic next week, and next week we'll do some Join in Magic, and I'll tell you how it's done as well, so you can learn yet another trick to show your family and friends. All right, so we are now going to go to the Learn Magic section of today's magic show, all right? So, in today's section of the Learn Magic show, oh, that was last week's. Let's mention it, all right? If you weren't here last week, all right, we have got PDFs for last week as well. They're available on my website, all right? It's www.dazzlingdarren.co.uk, all right? There's a PDF for each week's show. If this is the first time that you join us, great to see you. And also, on last week's show, that last week's show is now uploaded to YouTube, all right? So you can have a look at it there, all right? So if you've enjoyed it today, but you didn't see last week's show, go to YouTube. You'll find it in the list, episode 1 on the Dazzling Darren YouTube channel, and you'll be able to download the PDF. All right, so we're going to learn some magic maths today, and today we're going to learn the mystery dice, all right? So you should have, hopefully, one of these. And as I said before, if you don't have one, it doesn't matter. Still carry on watching with us today. And once you've watched with us, I want you to go get the PDF after the show, all right? And on this PDF, there are 3 cut-out dice, all right? I'll hold that up a little bit closer. Now, there's 3 dice, and I want you to cut out those dice if you can. Now, it might take 10 minutes or so, but it should be fun because you will be learning how to make a 2D shape on a piece of paper into a 3D shape that looks like this, all right? I must say thank you to Emma, because Emma, my partner, she actually made these for me, all right? She cut these out and made them, all right? And you'll need to get 3 of them, all right? So you should have 3 paper dice that are like this, all right? Now, if you don't want to do that and you've got 3 normal dice lying around, I'll go back to this screen. If you've got 3 normal dice lying around, you can use those as well, all right? To learn today's trick, you just need 3 dice. It doesn't matter if those 3 dice are 3 from your Monopoly sets and your other board games, or whether it is the 3 that I gave you on the PDF. As long as you've got 3 dice, you are ready to start today's Learn Magic. All right, now, this is the trick, first of all right? You will get somebody to help you and you will get them to shuffle, to mix up your dice, all right? To shake your dice, give them a shuffle and a mix, and when they've done that, you want them to roll them on the table. Once they've rolled them on the table, you want them to stack all 3 on top like that, all right? So, you'll ask your person who's helping you, say, I'd like you to take these dice, I'd like you to give them a shuffle, a shake and a mix and roll them on the table. Once you've done that, I want you to stack all 3 dice on top of each other. All right, so I will do that now. I'll give these a shake and a mix up. We'll roll them on the table and we will stack them on top of each other. Now, the trick is, even though you can do this while you can be turning away while they do this, all right? Now, the trick is this. You will be able to tell them by magic what the 5 sides of the dice that you can't see add up to. So there's this top one here, all right? And you can see all around other sides. There's 5 sides that you can't see. The bottom of the top dice, the top and the bottom of the second dice, and the top and the bottom of the third dice, all right? You can tell them by magic what those add up to, all right? And in this case, the answer will be 19. Let's have a look and see if I'm right, all right? So this is the top of the first dice. So the bottom of the first dice has a number 5. So we'll remember that, that's 5. And then the top of the second dice has another 5. So we'll add 5 and 5, which makes 10. And then the bottom of the second dice is a 2, which makes 12. And then over here, you've got 4, which makes 16. And down here, 3, which is 19. So the answer is 19. Works every time. Look, I'll show you one more time and then we'll get into how to do this. Some interesting facts about dice and dices, and then I'll teach you how it's done, all right? So, we'll do it again. And this time, the answer, even though I haven't seen any of those faces of the dice, is 20. Let's check it out, all right? So we haven't seen this side. So that's 6, plus 5, which is 11, plus 2, which is 13, plus 5, which is 18, plus 2, which is 20. The answer's 20. All right, and it's a super simple trick, and it's a great way to practice your mental maths as well. All right, now, let me tell you how this is done. And there's a couple of things that you should know about dice which make this possible. All right, the first thing which makes this possible is that each dice, all of the spots on a dice add up to 21. All right, so every regular dice, every regular 6-sided die has got the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you add those up, 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 4 is 15, plus 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Every dice adds up to 21. That's the first thing you should know about a dice. Second thing, which is pretty cool, the opposite sides of a dice always add up to 7. Now, some of you might know that, and some of you might have not realised that and just thought it was random. But always on a regular dice, it's not a cheating dice, all of these numbers, opposite sides always add up to 7. So have a look, we got 1, and then on the other side we got 6. That makes 7. Over here, look, we got 2, and then over there we got 5, and 2 plus 5 makes 7. And then finally over here we got 3, plus 4, and that makes 7 as well. So, first thing about a die is that they always add up to 21, all the sides, but each pair of opposite sides always adds up to 7, and it is that we use to make our mystery dice trick work, all right? So, if you now bring in 3 dice, all right, you know that a pair of opposite sides here, plus a pair of opposite sides here, plus a pair of opposite sides here, add up to 21. So, to get your answer you need, all you have to do is very simple and it'll always work. You get the number 21 and you take away the number that is showing on the top, the one that you can see. All right. So in this example that I just created at random, again, the answer is 20 because the answer is always 21 minus the number on the top of the dice. Hope that makes sense, and if it does, go ahead and give it a try. Do it for yourself if you've got dice for you. Give them a shuffle, give them a shake, drop them on the table, and then pile them up Once you've piled them up, all right, you can start to practice by taking away the number on top from number 21. So I keep putting the 1 on the top. Let's change it, all right? Let's change it there. We got the 5 on the top. Now, my answer would be 21, take away 5, and that would give you the answer 16, all right? So what you'll be doing here in practicing your maths is you'll be doing the number 21 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And hopefully, if you show this trick to a few different people, you will practice that. It will help you with your mental maths, and you will get a little bit faster, all right? So let's just do a little recap for the learning then. So the learning recap. So the opposite faces of a die add up to 7, all right? You got 5, and on the other side, you've got 2. Add them up, they make 7, all right? Now, if you've got 3 of those, 7 plus 7 plus 7 would equal 21. All right, and so the answer to the mystery dice trick is got by subtracting the number on the top of the dice from the number 21. So if you can see the number 4 on the top of your dice, you know that the other 5 sides that you can't see will always add up to 17. And that's it. That's today's Learn Magic trick, the mystery dice. I hope you enjoy that, whether you've got it with the paper dice or the dice that you've got from your games or you've got lying about at home. Hope you have some fun with that. Hope you can show some of your family and friends that as well. All right, now we're going to come to today's Maths Marvel. Now, I think this is incredible, all right? This is just something for you to watch and learn how other people used to do multiplication, all right? Now, this today is the Egyptian way of doing multiplication. So we're going back 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, and perhaps even more, all right? Long before these were invented, all right? Long before calculators were invented, all right? So today, if we wanted to do 58 times 96, probably the fastest way, we might just do 58 times 96, and we would find our answer, 5,568, all right? But what would happen if you didn't have a calculator? Well, you'd have to create different methods to learn how to do multiplication, all right? And today, I'm going to show you the way that the Egyptians did their multiplication, and they used doubling as their technique. Not the place in Ireland, by the way, but doubling, all right? Now, if you were watching last week's show, you will see some of these numbers coming up. They are very similar to the birthday calculator that we learned last week. All right, now, let's try an example. We're going to try and multiply 21 by 62. Now, you don't have to join in with this. You can just follow along. You can just watch. I'm showing you how the Egyptians did it because I think this is pretty incredible. Now, here's what you've got to do. Under the number 21, you have to start with the number 1, all right? And under the 62, you have to start with the number 62. So you can see that there, all right? Now, you are going to double both sets of numbers until you get to a number that is more than half of 21. Now, I know that's a lot to think about, all right? When I learnt this, it took me a little while to get my head around, but I'll make it as simple as possible. So, first of all, you would double the number 1. Now, if you double the number 1, what does that make? 2, right? And then you double the number on the other side, so double of 62 is 124. Now, when we're saying doubling, we mean multiplying or timesing by 2. So we're going to do that again, all right? We'll now double 2. 2 times 2 makes, yes, that's right, 4. And double 124 makes 248. Are you with me? It is tough, this. I don't expect you to be able to get this straight away. I just want you to follow along, and maybe you might have a go at this. Maybe the homework might be something where you could give this a little bit of a practice. I don't know. Now, you got to carry on until you get to a number that is bigger than half of 21. So you can see up there, we've got the number 21, all right, and we're going down here, 1, 2, 4, 8. Now, 8 is not bigger than half of 21, so I had to carry on again. 16, now that is bigger than half of 21, all right? And a good way to work that out is if you multiply this number by 2, if you double this number, is it bigger than 21? Well, no, it isn't. But if we multiply 16 by 2, we'll get 32, and that number is bigger than 21. All right, now we're not finished there. Yeah, I know. Imagine how difficult this was without a calculator over 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Now, we got the other numbers on the other side. We got 62, 124, 248, 496, 992. They don't matter so much for now, all right? The next thing we need to do, you won't believe this, all right, is you've got to find the numbers in this row here, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1, that total 21 together. Now, you might be able to do that. Have a look at those numbers, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. Which of those numbers, I'll give you a clue, there's 3 of them. Which of those 3 numbers, if you were to add them up, would total 21? Can you work that out? I'll tell you. There's 16, 4, and 1, because 16 plus 4 plus 1 equals 21. All right, so those are the ones that you would need. Then to get the answer, you're still not finished yet, you would have to get the number 62, 248, 992 and add them up, all right? Because that's 16 62s and then another 4 62s and then another 1 62. So I hope you think that makes sense. We are working out how to get 21 62s. Amazing, isn't it? So you'd need 62 plus 248 plus 992, which equals 1,302, 1,302. Unbelievable, isn't it? All right, imagine having to do that without a calculator. That is the Egyptian method. All right, now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and do one with 2 numbers that are chosen at random. So, if you're watching on Facebook, please type in 2 numbers between 20 and 100, all right? The first ones that we get, I am going to try it. I'm going to test my mental maths live on the show today. I'm going to try and do those 2 numbers. So if you're watching on Facebook, type in any 2 numbers between 20 and 100, all right? And then I will have a go at this. I've created a little sheet. We'll go to the split screen. I will have a go at this, see if I can get it right, and then we will be ready for the shout-outs and the homework. All right. Oh, Sarah G, thank you very much for that. 33 times 69. Thanks very much, Sarah. We will go for that one. Jenny's done 21 and 45. Thank you very much. We'll go for Sarah's because it was the first. All right. So we will do. Let me get my pen. 33 times 69. So let's have a look at this. All right. We're going to do 33 times 69. Thanks everybody for all your suggestions. We'll just go for this one. 33 times 69. So to do this, we have to start with 1 and over here 69. All right. Then we're going to double each side. So we're going to do 2 and double 69 is 138. I hope I get my maths right here. Double 2 is 4 and double 138 is 276. All right. Now, this is going to be a really tough one, and I know why, because, well, you'll see why in a second. So we'll do 8, and then we will double 276, which makes 552. Then we will double 8 for 16, which means we've got to double this number over here, which means we'll get 1104. And then finally, because 16 isn't bigger than half of 33, if we times 16 by 2, we get 32, we would have to do it again. So 16 is not bigger than half of 33, so we'd have to do it again. So we'll have to double 16 for 32, and then we'll have to double this number, so we get 2,208. All right? Now, that does make things a little bit easier because to get 33, we need to use 32 and 1. So our answer will be 69 plus 2,208. And if we go down here, we should find that that is a 7, and we carry our 1 and a 7 and 2 and 2. So the answer should be 2,277, I hope. I think. I hope that's right. Someone could probably check that on a calculator, but I think the answer to 33 times 69 is 2,277. And that was using the Egyptian method. All right, hope you enjoyed that. We're going to do the shout-outs now, and then the homework, and then we will be done with episode 2. So the shout-outs. Thank you very much for people that messaged in for a shout-out. I got quite a few, so I've just read out 2 or 3. If you want a shout-out on next week's show, let me know. The email that you need is darren@dazzlingdarren.co.uk. Send me an email or send me a message on Facebook. I will give you a shout out. Quick shout outs today then. First of all, to everybody at Littletown School. All right. Thank you very much, everybody who's watching at Littletown School. I have been messaging one of your teachers, and they have been asking you to watch the show. So thank you so much to everyone at Littletown School who is watching. And the other shout out today is to Leo and Charlie. I know they're watching with Matt and Amy. Matt has really helped me publicise this show into more schools and stuff. So thank you so much to Matt and to Amy for sharing, and also a big hello to Leo and Charlie. Charlie, you are going to be an absolute star one day. I know it. All right, so those are the shout outs. Let's finish with the homework then. Right, the homework for this week is this. All right, this is tough. All right, this is much more difficult than week 1. Now, if I had 11 regular packs of cards, no jokers, all right, how many cards would I have in total? Now, you don't have to get the answer in fast. You have got until Sunday to get the answer in, all right? Now, a good way of doing this, perhaps, might be to grab a piece of paper and do 11 and 52, all right? And if you did that, 11 and 52, I'll give you a clue, there's 52 cards in a regular pack with no jokers, all right? Now, if you did 11 and 52 and you tried that Egyptian method with your parents or your teachers or whatever, you would get the answer to this week's homework, all right? When you've got the answer, you can pop it to Darren at dazzlingdarren.co.uk, or you can put something in the comments below. And I will, as I did last week, I will announce the winner on next week's show, but I'll draw the winner on Sunday night. So you've got until Sunday to get your answers in, and we will do the winner on the start of episode 3 on next week's show. All right, that's it. That's episode 2 finished. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed episode 2. Episode 1 is available on YouTube now. Episode 2 will be available very shortly. Please, if you enjoyed it, tell your friends, tell people in other schools that might want to watch it and enjoy half an hour of magic and maths to inspire the primary school learners to learn some more maths. If you did enjoy it, then thank you so much for sharing and watching, and I hope to see you again next week. That's the end of the show. We'll see you soon.
Attention everybody, this show's about to start. For boys and girls of every age and parents young at heart. It's time to take your seats, let your imagination go. And welcome everybody to the Dazzling Darren Show. His magic is amazing. There's surprises up his sleeve. What? This show is gonna be so good you'll never wanna leave. So come on down and don't be shy, it's time to say hello to the marvellous, the magical, the absolute fantastical, amazing and the brilliant Dazzling Darren Show.